Hey everyone, how about here? Bring a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be discussing what Dokkan should be doing for the future of Dokkan. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And what I'm really talking about here is their choice of their Part 2 Yellow Coin LR for Golden Week this year compared to last year. And of course, what we ended up getting this year was the LR Ultimate Gohan, which, you know what, it's a fine unit, right? It's one of these units that, okay, if you're in a specific situation, for example, if you want to have a link partner with Tech Ultimate Gohan, you're running a Majin Buu Saga team, things of that nature, this unit does fine, right? And unfortunately, this is also a unit that you kind of need a lot of dupes on. You want to make sure he gets buffed up, gets an additional super attack. There's a lot of things that needs to happen for this unit for it to be really, really rocking at all times. But ultimately, yeah, if you're going to be using with the Ultimate Gohan, the Tech Gohan here, the EZA Gohan, this is a great rotation, one of the best in the game. However, what I'm looking for in Yellow Coin LRs isn't this, right? We also now know we are getting, the reason why I didn't do a LR Kid Buu is we ended up getting, or we are going to get this Super EZA to the old Dokkan Festival exclusive physical Kid Buu, which hopefully they're going to increase this to a point where like, oh, okay, I got you, this makes sense. So they can redeem what they made a decision on doing this year with an incredible Super EZA to Kid Buu. However, what I'm really talking about here is this unit right here. This is, of course, last year's Golden Week Part 2 LR in Bulma, right? STR Bulma became one of these units where when she came out, it didn't make any sense because a Yellow Coin LR should never be this strong, right? This unit ended up basically tanking everything at the current meta at the time. It did actually decent amount of damage, but what it really did here was having the opportunity to buff your characters when she's not even on the turn, which is just an incredible OP ability. So the all allies key +3 attack and defense 37% for 2 turns with five or more key syrup obtained was one of the head scratches of, oh boy, how come we've never even had units like this or more units like this? Because I believe there's a few that actually have this. Maybe I'm mistaken. But anyway, this was just so OP for a summonable Yellow Coin LR that we ended up going, okay, I'm guessing they're going to do an extreme class of this because the biggest issue with Bulma isn't necessarily her kit, right? Her kit is one of the best kits that you've actually ever had, right? You're able to guard for 7 turns. You have the ability to, just, buff everybody and tank generally everything, right? So damage received by 7% of each turn up to 77% on top of, guard. It's just, everything about this unit's just perfect when it comes to the passive skill. The negative here is really this, right, is the categories. It's not on that many categories that is relevant at this point in time. And of course that ends up making a lot of sense, right, being that this is so strong. But Power Wishers, Earthbred Fighters, that's pretty much about, I guess, Pepe Gals now as well, right? These 3 teams get such a big boost, right, for having Bulma on the team. It's just absolutely incredible. So having an extreme class version of this is what we were hoping for when it came to the Part 2 LR for Golden Week. We're hoping to get finally an LR Kid Buu, which of course we ended up not getting, but this needs to be made up. So if they actually have one of Super EZA's Kid Buu's passive skill as a 2-turn buff, then I would then understand why they made the choice for Ultimate Gohan. But if they don't do something similar to this, right? And yes, this is a great unit to have as a support unit. We're guessing this is going to be like a 50% support to all types without the HP restriction and things of that nature. That's what we're assuming. We still need an extreme class version of this, right? Because these aren't extreme class teams that you can run it on. And with the current meta, you still need a unit that has the the leader buff to survive in this current version of the game. So what I was thinking about was, okay, what are some characters that could provide this? Oh, before I jump into that, one of the things that I was thinking in comparison to the Ultimate Gohan here was I was hoping that Yellow Coin LRs now for these Key Plus 4 dual category 150% leads was going to be much like LR Ginyu Force, where of course this is on JP, not on global. LR Ginyu Force here ended up being just an incredible support unit, right? This is for special pose. Now, in a sense, Gohan kind of supports, right here, if it's keys 24, the active skill, or the keys 24, you have a 20% defensive boost to Majin Buu Saga category. I think they could have done something a lot better than this, than just the plus 20% to defense, right? And I think that's something to really start thinking about, is the future of Yellow Coin LRs. Do we want LRs to be more like a Gohan, right? Where they're, in a sense, trying to use this unit as a connection or a good unit that's going to run with another, EZA or another good unit to partner up? Or do you guys want to have a unit that is a full support unit to a particular category, which, LR Ginyu Force is with special pose, right? What would you guys prefer? I'm going to lean more toward this side. This is what I was hoping to see. Where I was going to hope to see here is maybe like 20% to attack and defense when maybe keys 18, and then another 20% to attack and defense when it's 24, something like that, to all category allies or Majin Buu Saga category allies. I would have liked to see that more, right? I would have liked to see that more. And I think this would be a much more reasonable unit to run on like a floater position or just a support unit for Majin Buu Saga. And really, but Majin Buu Saga is like a unit that, or as a team that you really don't need much buffing, right? Much support. Whereas I think special pose, well, with the God Topo, you don't need much either. But anyway, this could have been also survivors too, right? This survivors category. So survivors, plus to that and Majin Buu Saga, they could have done a double support. That's what I'm really hoping to see. Now, when it comes to this extreme class LR that acts like LR Bulma with a 2-turn buff, super OP passive here, the extreme class version of it, you're going to need a unit that I would say has limited categories, so that it's not just a totally OP extreme class. Now, I could argue that being extreme class is something that's so, it's much weaker than super class teams, that they need a Bulma type of unit with a lot more categories, right? You can argue that, but if they're going to stay with the same kind of mentality, they really simply could have, in this celebration, maybe not again a Kid Buu here, they could have just did like another Babidi. And because Babidi has very low categories, right? Inhuman Deeds, Majin Buu Saga, Terrifying Conquerors, Crota Body of Mind, and Resurrector Warriors. But all 5 of these categories, except for pretty much Majin Buu Saga, because it's such a good team, these 4 need some sort of additional boost. Resurrector Warriors with Hirugan, got a nice boost there. But having a crazy extreme class support unit for this, and then it's all allies, similar to Bulma here, would have made this unit so much more valuable. I think a lot more people would then summon for them, because it doesn't seem like Ultimate Gohan, got enough hype for top grossing and things of that nature. Babidi would have worked that way. Now, again, we're not going to see it anymore, because what they ended up doing was the Ultimate Gohan. But this was kind of, Kid Buu would have been fine too. But think about this: if they did Kid Buu like that, look at all the categories it's on. Again, I think this would have worked out even better. But we're hoping that this will have maybe another dynamic. If they can do a 2-turn here, then you guys, Dokkan could just shut me up here, and I would like, okay, I got you where you are. You're thinking here. You rather do a Super EZA than an LR for a Bulma-like unit. Now, if they maybe would do this in the future, another unit that they can run that isn't all too hype as just a character, but if it had the Bulma 2-turn support could be like a Dr. Gero, right? Dr. Gero is not on that many categories here, right? Androids, Android Cell Saga, Terrifying Conquerors, Target Goku, Revenge, Battle of Wits. That could be interesting there. And then Power Absorption. These here could use a little bit of additional boost. And ultimately, right, this would then be one of these units that are like, oh, Dr. Gero, not very, hype character, but if it had the passive like this right here, you can just carbon copy this passive, put it on an extreme class unit like Dr. Gero, or something similar with limited categories, right? Maybe non-transform Bojack, I guess, or something like that. I'm just thinking some androids with they're kind of limited, but anyway, something of that nature. Dude, you would have a lot of people summoning for it as a Yellow Coin LR. For sure, everybody would want to copy because we know how strong Bulma is from when she was released last year. So I think it's a huge miss. I think it's a huge miss that they know Bulma was really received very well throughout the year last year, and every time that she was on a banner, that banner was elevated and people were like, okay, at least I got a Bulma, or hey, at least I got another dupe of Bulma, right? People were very happy and they weren't super upset if they didn't pull the main unit because they got a great consolation prize. Do the same thing. Do the same thing on the extreme class. We need it. We desperately need it, this version on here. And in the future, Yellow Coin LRs, let's just make them very good support units for a particular category, not this kind of half, 20% to defense to Majin Buu category allies when Key's 24. Add something more. And I think, again, the value is more important for people to summon on banners, especially right before an anniversary or major celebration. You gotta do better, Dokkan. You gotta do better if you want people like me that's been playing this for 9 years to actually be excited and go for that. Like, I'm 100 pity coins away from getting Ultimate Gohan again. I'm like, maybe I'll just skip it. I'll save my stones. That's the feeling I have. If this unit was a much better support unit, I'd be like, oh, I'm just all in. I'm just get the dupe right away. So anyway, that is my thought here. I just want to make this video discussing where we're at when it comes to Yellow Coin LRs, what Dokkan needs to do in the future. Hoping when we see the stats for the EZA Buu here, the Super EZA Buu here, it is going to be comparable to like a Bulma. But if not, they need to do better. They need to do something like a, again, this was for this celebration Babidi, but like a Gero or maybe a different android or something that's going to provide us an extreme class ultimate support unit Yellow Coin that we can capture for these extreme class teams. But anyway, I'm just done here ranting here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here. Agree, disagree in the comment section below. Do all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.